the Papal States. They were among the major states of Italy from the 8th century all the way up to the unification of Italy. They were the lands directly controlled by the Pope from 756 until 1870. That is over 1,000 years of papal rule, and it is gone. There is no more of it left other than small Vatican City. But what if we can undo that? And to that end, we'll play as Italy today. Yes, Italy has a secret, one that I plan to show you. Let's go. Iron Man mode on with historical focuses. Let's go. All right, hold on. Let me settle this first. And there we go. Yes, this is me. And no, you can't see my face. What's that? You're wondering what I'm doing? Well, I'm playing Warpath. Warpath is a free-to-play, massively multiplayer online real-time strategy game, and they decided to sponsor this video. I do like this as a fun little time waster on my phone, I have to admit. And victory. The game looks pretty good, and it plays quite smoothly as a mobile strategy game. Plus, they recently added a lethal sniper mechanic as side missions. You take out threats and protect assets as a lone sniper operating behind enemy lines, complete with an entire upgrade mechanic for your rifle. This is really cool. Now, speaking of rifles, Warpath offers players a wide array of historically accurate equipment and vehicles, like this Char B1, though I don't know why anyone sensible would use this sad excuse for a tank. Best pick one of the other 104 types of tanks instead, all obtained through drawing cards. Like this M1A2 Abrams tank, famous US tank. I think it's the best one in the world. Now, Warpath is an RTS first and foremost, and you can explore the big map and collect war materials for your development of combat power. You can upgrade and build your own base to increase your defenses and fend off the enemy when they come to attack you. Even better, you can launch your own attacks and crush the threat instead. Those tanks sure do good work. Now, check out the game using my link in the description and the pinned comment, and once again, a big thank you to Warpath for partnering with me on this. Use promo code WPIAGG. I'll leave it up on screen for you. Now, back to the video. Now, you've seen my previous video where I restored Rome. At least I think you have. If you haven't, check the link. I'll leave it up there. But we need to get rid of Ethiopia on the double. Just to save ourselves a little bit of headache. It's just a bit of headache. And the easiest way to do that is to simply deploy the full military might of Italy. I'll send my tanks to the southern front, all of my mountaineers to the northern front, and spread out the rest of the units accordingly. And Ethiopia has no idea what's coming. I'll also get Graziani in command and Messe for the north, and for the south doesn't really matter who we pick. Ezio Rossi will do. In terms of production, I'll need guns, I'll need support equipment, I don't need tanks, I'll need trucks obviously, and as well some artillery. Yes. Also making some casts. I'll make more of these. I'll put 5 factories on it. Now this is special cast. This is what Italy starts with, and this is essentially a multi-role fighter. It has cast capabilities because it has a small bomb bay, but it also has light machine guns. So this is a multi-role fighter. It can do air superiority and close air support. Well, not at the same time, but it has the option to do both. I think I'll deviate and get myself dedicated cast and dedicated fighters. That's still something that's ingrained in my mind. I must do this, but maybe I can change as I play this game a little bit more. I also need a couple of trains, and I think I can start building up a small stockpile of anti-air. Anti-air usually is worth it. In terms of the Navy, it doesn't matter. You don't need the Navy in this run, but I like it. I like the Italian Navy, and I just build whatever's being built and then design some new stuff eventually. Most economic way to do this is to just put everything on a single dockyard and then drag your biggest ships down to the bottom. That way, you know, everything gets built a little faster. Research-wise, nothing fancy here. We're just gonna go with the basics of machine tools, construction, engineering, and the extra slot, do with it what you will. You don't really need anything from the air, though survivability studies might be handy, but you already have good airplanes. You could dedicate some time to the Navy, improve the guns, or get radar, etc. It depends on what you want out of this game. I'm not looking for a naval game, so I'm gonna ignore Navy for the time being. Instead, I think I'll just go with armor. I definitely love playing with armor, and I think mediums are still the way forward, though there is something to be said for heavies in what we're trying to do here. If I tell you already, it would be a spoiler, so I'll not tell you just yet. Instead, we'll focus purely on the industry, and yeah, I think I'll just get some synthetic oil. We also have a sizable air force. I tend to just delete whatever's in Italy and North Africa. Then I delete the fighters and the casts in Ethiopia, and let's see, we have 32 tacticals. I'll put them over Ogaden, and we'll put up some more fighters. These are quick deploy buttons. You're gonna love these. And I'll put up 3 more tactical bombers, 2 for Danakil, and the last one over the Ethiopian highlands. That should allow us to bomb the Ethiopians into oblivion, and now we attack. Like, again, if you've watched my previous video, you know, but these escalation mechanics don't matter if you can defeat the Ethiopians within like 70 days. You even have more time than 70 days, but 70 days is what I aim to do. Anyway, with that done, let's destroy Ethiopia. Yeah, I'm not very impressed with the Ethiopian army's performance here, but what can I expect? I am bombing them into the dust, so it happens. Christmas offensive, I just picked the top option. Another 15% attack bonus and more air support, plus the war escalation doesn't matter if you're quick enough. You want to drag this out for some reason, it might be best not to take that option. Anyway, Sultanate Ausa, yeah, we'll send them an ultimatum and annex them in no time flat. Great, we can now occupy the land, and there we go. Oh, before I forget, I should probably also organize my navy. And by organize, I mean I'm just going to pile them into a big old fleet. And of course, I should be building things, but I must apologize for my incompetence today. I had to restart a run due to some shenanigans. I'm a little ticked off. It's fine. It's fine. We didn't lose all that much. 20 days of construction time. It's not great. It's not terrible. All right, success in northern Ethiopia. We're also doing fairly okay in the south. Should be fine. And we have even more troops arriving, so this is not an issue, like, at all. Supply is your biggest enemy here, so it might be helpful to increase the supply range. Yeah, succeeding pretty much everywhere. The south has ground to a halt, but mostly because the enemy is spamming last stands here, which is actually working to my favor because that will kill them. Not bad for, what? A month's work. Italian highways done. We've pushed back the enemy. Solid progress, but I was a little slow on the ball. Don't think we'll have to deal with Haile Selassie. If we do, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but we have gotten solid progress. Yes, I know. To get to the convene the Grand Council and go monarchist, it would probably be better to get struggle, which means losing. I don't lose. It's not something I do. It's not something I want to do. So we're not doing it. Instead, we're gonna win and just take the detour because I will not lose. I refuse to lose. And there goes Ethiopia. Hurrah. And we're just gonna take everything. We'll just bring all of our boys back home. I'll reorganize the army in a bit. We don't need them for a while. Now we get this mission, pacify Ethiopia. Now, realistically, first off, we are going to get rid of Mussolini through this focus, depose Mussolini. What that does is invalidate all these missions. All of them are gone and they will be considered failed. However, it is going to be a while before we get there, so it might be worth going for at least a couple of these. Pacify Ethiopia is relatively easy, provided you do a couple of things. One is to set everything to local police force, or even better, the colonial police force, except for Ethiopia itself. You want to leave them on civilian oversight, build the most compliance. What you're going to do then is rush for this focus. The new emperor of Ethiopia is going to give you more compliance growth in the region. You need that compliance growth, along with topple the Amhara rulers and, sorry for all this panning around, Ministry of Italian Africa, and develop Ethiopia. Now, you want Ministry of Italian Africa probably right after you've got the emperor thing, but like develop Ethiopia, you want to wait, as well as topple Amhara rulers until you've naturally built up a little bit of compliance. Because of the way compliance works, the higher compliance is, the slower it grows. So you first want to maximize natural growth and then take those big lump sum rewards, if that makes any sense to you. Anyway, enough rambling. It's entirely likely that we will fail this mission. I'll try just because I want to. I don't like setting myself up for failure, even for small things, but we'll try to get this done. If we don't, it's no big deal. We're also going to organize our troops a little. I want the black shirts to be separated, mostly because they might not remain loyal. And then I'm going to split off all of these irregular troops because I just don't like using the irregulars. It's a cool mechanic. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's bad that Paradox added it. It's just not something I like to play with. And then everything else is getting converted to infantry, just straight up infantry divisions. I really don't want to bother with tanks that are terrible, or like all of the other stuff. Just everything is infantry, and I'll work with that. I'll prioritize my garrisons at first, and then we're gonna fill up with a lot of infantry. Let's see, how much do I need? I need 5 plus 4 is 9 plus another 3 and 7, like 18 infantry. That will give us 2 full armies. That should be enough for the time being. First batch of political power, and we can spend it on on. Where is he? Silent workhorse, more political power. Now this is going to be a bit of a nightmare until we really start getting some compliance. We're going to need a lot of guns to handle Ethiopia. It will be fine. It will be fine in the long run. But yeah, until compliance goes up, this is just going to be a bit of a nightmare in terms of our equipment drain. This can go well into the thousands, but it will not matter. All right, that focus gives us a free agency and 2 spies. Next up, Triumph in Africa, and we'll follow with the new Emperor of Ethiopia. Actually, I had an idea. If we do this one first, we get a better occupation law for all of our other stuff, and that might conserve our equipment significantly. I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong. We'll see. Concentrated or dispersed. Concentrated or dispersed. I always go dispersed. I can't even justify why I always go dispersed. I just always do. I think I like the retention and the efficiency base. I think we're going to go with that because I will be getting a lot more military factories relatively quickly. Anyway, while we wait, we have some more stuff to do. We'll take the Navy and exercise until we have 515 naval experience. Reason being is we need to deal with Mussolini in a bit, and it's easy if we have the required experience. We'll also bring all of our aircraft home and deploy a couple of wings of fighters and CAS. We'll need them in the end. While organizing my army, I'll also split off 3 mountaineers. These guys will be sent to Spain. I won't be doing too much in Spain, mostly just farming experience that way. Yeah, look at the garrison requirements soar. This used to be 100 guns. It might be beneficial if we just deploy a spy there for a little bit, just root out resistance, help deal with the area. Now, I could start building up my military high command. They changed it a little bit though. Like military high command itself no longer gives you army experience. They just give you bonuses to your combat effectiveness. Italy's downside is that most of these guys require the ruling party to be fascist. The fascist party is very much entrenched in the military. So if we want good advisors, we'll need to make them by, well, you know, improving units that we've leveled up. So we have to get generals leveled up. We can hire a chief of the army though. These guys shouldn't abandon us. They are loyal to the country, not the man or the organization. I'm thinking Ugo Caballero because he gives us army experience and division organization. Both are useful. Army morale, I don't like it all that much, and army defense, no. So I'll just go with army organization. And unfortunately, the political guys have the same issue. Almost every single one of these has some checks that you've either not gone non-aligned or communist, or they require you to have a fascist leader, or that require you to have certain focuses done. So this might be a very sparse if you decide to get rid of Mussolini and not go fascist. So keep that in mind. You will lose a lot of these guys. My initial research is just going to focus on building up the industry as much as possible and then slowly easing into infantry equipment and artillery. Air is still very much up to date. I'll get some survivability studies, maybe the heavy MGs or the cannons, better engines, etc. when it's relevant. Don't need it for now. Alright, the nationalists have done their thing, so I'm going to send them volunteers. I can send 3, so I'll send 3 mountaineers along with air volunteers. Perfect. How many air volunteers can I send? I think 1 air wing, so 100, and I'll send them over there in northeastern Iberia on close air support. You have to check back every now and then. This is going to go up to like 3, maybe even 4 wings, but we'll see. And our second spy, I'll also put in Ethiopia just to help handle this very, very unruly country. But with those 2 spies in place, we should start getting somewhere in terms of our equipment. It shouldn't be as terrible anymore. And now we can get a new Emperor of Ethiopia, Victor Emmanuel. More political power as well. Who do we get? Either the financial expert for consumer goods or the captain of industry for construction speed. I don't know which is mathematically best. I'm gonna get both anyway. I always have a thing for consumer goods. And what I'm gonna do here in Spain is certainly nothing too glamorous. I'm just gonna farm experience. That's it. And the last one now. There we go. The balance of power is at 0. Perfect. That means we can convene the Grand Council. It is going to mess with our country a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit, but it does lock us into the right path. And importantly, this also unlocks an advisor we're going to need. The staunch monarchist builds some support for non-aligned because we need 25% non-aligned support to restore the monarchy here. Well, to empower the monarchy, and we can use the time to build up a little bit. I don't want to depose Mussolini just yet, so I can use that time to build monarchy support and maybe get a couple of missions, maybe even, you know, pacify Ethiopia. And you can see our equipment is no longer an issue with our spies in place and our compliance ticking up very, very steadily, already at 20%. Resistance in Ethiopia is going to keep dropping. Again, you don't have to do this. I just want to see if I can. All right, Grand Council convened. I have nowhere near enough support for non-aligned, so there's no point in deposing Mussolini. There's no real benefit to it. So I'm going to wait until we are ready to go straight into Monarchia d'Italia. What else can we do? It is late 36, so early 37. So January 37, I want to justify in Bulgaria and eat all of the Balkans. Yes. Yes, I do. Once that's... But until then, we can do some more building up. Let's get ourselves a little bit of steel. And we're almost at 150 political power. Let's hire the staunch monarchist and we can actually start building some non-aligned support. We're gonna need a lot of it. And we have some more political power to spend. Considering we're going monarchist, and that means non-aligned in a bit, want to make use of the fact that we're fascist now to go to extensive conscription. Otherwise, we'd have to wait until we're at war. And well, while Italy does have a significant amount of manpower, it's not gonna be enough. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to build up a little bit of an arms industry before I fight the entire Balkans. This is not that important, but it just helps. I'm gonna do that until this reaches about 100 days left. So one more focus and then I should probably start rushing towards the next part of my scheme, which involves foreign affairs, Balkan ambition, and then the Albanian occupation. Albanian occupation does what it says on the box, gives me Albania. Balkan ambition gives me a way to declare on Yugoslavia, probably without anyone else but Romania getting involved, and foreign affairs is just there. All right, so we've got a little less than 100 days left. Time to initiate the Balkan scheme. I hate this panning. I hope they fix this. Foreign affairs, Balkan invasion, and then the Albanian occupation, I think. Yeah. Okay, we've also finished our justification on Bulgaria. We're not going to declare war just yet. We have a couple more days to get the Albanian occupation and then a couple more days for the ultimatum to Yugoslavia to take place. Now, we need to keep an eye on world tension. Like, for Yugoslavia, it won't be an issue. They only have the Romanian guarantee and they won't pick up any others. But Bulgaria might, because there's a war goal on them. They might... I say might get a guarantee. So if this creeps up, I am going to start and just declare the war a little bit early. It doesn't matter that much. I'm also going to add radios to my airplanes because I think it just makes sense. How would you fly a plane without a radio? All right, Albanian occupation. And I have the support I need to advance and get monarchist. I'm going to quickly check out to see if I can get this mission done. I know it's not worth it, but I don't like losing. And it feels like losing if I give up on it. I'm close though. I'm close. I'm tempted to postpone it a little bit to try and get the extra compliance. So I'm gonna grab develop Ethiopia and then I'm gonna grab topple Amhara rulers. Just see if I can just barely edge my way into completing that mission. I want to try. Yes, it's not optimal. I know. Anyway, with Albania yielding, we can now issue an ultimatum to Yugoslavia and we can also declare war on Bulgaria. I just want to get this over with because you never know if world tension's suddenly gonna spike. It just did, so no guarantees there, and they shouldn't pick up anything either because this doesn't work like the regular justifications on a country manually or through a focus. So the AI doesn't see this and they will not throw out guarantees. This will trigger an event and the event will give us an instant war goal that we can exploit without unpausing. And Yugoslavia refuses, as they always do. This gives us a war goal, will not unpause, will declare war, and essentially we'll just be fighting, well, just Yugoslavia, Romania, and Bulgaria. Pretty much all of the Balkans. And honestly, it's really easy enough. Easy peasy. You can pretty much battle plan your way to victory here. And we're right outside Belgrade. When Belgrade falls, that is going to be Yugoslavia gone. And I'm also threatening Bulgaria already. Okay, now for the peace deal. Easiest would be to just take everything. But I want to be a little clean about this. I noticed that Albania has a core on Kosovo. I know this is a bit controversial, but there we go. As for the rest, I will probably take everything, but I also want to create a couple of puppets in the region, mostly because it will make my border with future enemies a little shorter, but that is a bridge that we don't have to cross just yet. For now, I'm gonna make a couple of puppets here because we can make good puppets that way. I'm going to puppet Serbia because we have a couple of interactions with them, and I might also puppet Bosnia and Herzegovina because I have no use for them. I'll keep the rest here under my control, mostly because it will give me more war participation in the war. I know, cheeky. And I might also just puppet Slovenia while I'm there. And some resource rights. I'll take all of your resources, please. Oh, might as well just puppet Macedonia and take their resources. Now, what I said about the interactions here, we got a couple of cool things here. This is why I released the puppets in the first place. We can force the Croatians to get an Italian prince in charge and can then do more shenanigans with him. We can also demand Dalmatia from the Croatians, so we can link up Zara with Istria. We have options to claim the Montenegrin throne if they were not already controlled by us. This is mostly useful if Yugoslavia balkanizes naturally, I suppose, or if the Germans... I don't really know how to get these things, but they're cool. We can take Kosovo from Yugoslavia if they were ever in our faction and stuff. Like, these are really cool things. Anyway, my main concern right now is getting my way into Romania before they can reinforce with more troops. Well, Romania isn't that strong. They are quite annoying. Quite annoying indeed. Alright, Amhara rulers toppled. This gives us these events, and they'll give us more and more compliance in Ethiopia. Now, we've waited long enough. I should probably put Mussolini in prison. But I don't know if 35 days is gonna be enough to get the full effects of the event. Oh, I'm doing this to myself. I'm doing this to myself. I shouldn't. Okay. I'll take a short 35-day focus to get us more consumer goods factories, or fewer consumer goods factories. And then we get rid of Mussolini. I swear, I promise. And there goes Bulgaria. I could just puppet Bulgaria. It would be cleaner, but I'll just take him instead. Well, apparently I'm already in Bucharest because their army is ridiculously out of position. All right, Lira devalued. I've waited long enough. I'm gonna get rid of Mussolini. Yeah, I don't want to continue screwing myself trying to do this. This is probably not worth it. This is definitely not worth it. Huh, I'm in Bucharest. Okay. And we've deposed Mussolini. This is gonna fail because Mussolini is no longer in charge. Oh well. How close were we? I want to see how close I was. I would have just needed 1 or 2 more of those events from the Alhambra to fire. Let's get on to the monarchy. There we go. Kingdom of Romania has capitulated. Easiest way to do this, honestly, is just to puppet them. Puppet them and be done with it. And we are turning ourselves into a monarchy. If we're gonna release puppets, we should do it now. The reason I didn't do it during the peace deal is because it might mess up with the borders after the peace deal. If I make puppets now, they will actually be a decent quality in terms of independence levels. So let's just create... who can we make? There. That's clean. Very clean. I'm also going to demand Dalmatia because I want my Dalmatia. Thank you, UK, for that guarantee of independence. Victor Emmanuel has taken control of Italy, and we are now again a proper kingdom with a lot of puppets. I should probably keep going then. Shall we? Our next step will be power to the king, which means we need 50% support. We're quite a ways off. I think it's going to be easiest if we just do these anti-raids. In the meantime, we just keep building up our industry. We are going to war eventually if we want to, but not yet. Ooh, and now because we have all that Romanian oil, I can just set my navy to permanently exercise. That's cool. We also lost our field marshal because the man got fired for being fascist. I can understand why you'd do that. I can just replace him with Messe later. For now, I'll just put De Bono, Badoglio, Balbo. I'll just put Balbo there. He hasn't been shot down yet. Fun fact, Italo Balbo will get shot down unless, I believe, you do the Expand Rome Flying School. Reduces the chances of suffering historical aircraft accidents killing characters. So not only Italo Balbo gets shot down, some of your other generals might as well. And with sufficient support, let us continue and make our king an absolute ruler for a little bit. And next up, we'll seek papal support. This is where the fun begins. Pius XI passed away. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Now, what seek papal support is going to do for us is change the balance of power once again. The Grand Council of Fascism will be no more, and he will be replaced by His Holiness, the Pope. There you go, seek papal support. Now there's a struggle between Vittorio Emanuele and His Holiness, and what we want to do is move the balance of power all the way over here to get the Pope's ascendancy. So we're going to start with expanding the Lateran Treaty, and we're going to take focuses that improve upon His Holiness's wishes, which is disbanding the black shirts, agents of the church, and strengthening the papacy. Let's start by disbanding the black shirts. They have served their purpose, they can go. Let's see if I can design the dumbest super heavy battleship I can. Yeah, do I want anti-air or secondary batteries? I probably want anti-air. Actually, no, what I want is not the all or nothing armor scheme, but what I want is these guys, dual purpose guns. Yes, I should get them. It's gonna be too expensive to refit the battleships once I've built them, so I'm gonna do that. You know, I'll build them whenever I put them in the queue. Like, honestly, I'll never get them built. They take like 5 years to complete, and it's already 1939, so this was one of the dumbest things I've done so far. All right, papacy strengthened. Now, this is where the tree ends, or so it seems. No. We have more to do. One more decision to put us where we need to go. Liturgical reforms. Like that. Boom. Pope's ascendancy. With the power of the papacy exceeding that of the Italian monarchy, many ardent supporters of the Catholic Church have today come out to demand the Pope take up leadership of the country. Gladly. And there we go. Papa Pio the 12th. We've just unlocked a secret branch of the focus tree. This is why we went through all that trouble to run our country suboptimally, so we can have these couple of focuses. The papacy reborn turns Italy into the papal state. This is the first one we want, but there's more good stuff down there. We have Deus Vult here, bit of a memey name, but okay. Catholic action, useful. A time for war. This bad boy gives us war goals on any country in Europe that is not majority Catholic. Plus, it will create a super heavy self-propelled artillery variant named the Hand of God. How could you not love that? We also get the Holy Lands, where we demand the UK hands over Palestine, or we declare war. Il Vento Auro, the Golden Wind, good bonus for our airplanes, and the Catholic Dominion, which just gives us a bunch of bonuses all around. Honestly, this may not be super powerful, but it is super memey, and that is what we're all about here. We want them memes. And we're gonna keep training more units because Germany is gonna go to war. We're not gonna help them out because we are not about that fascism. We might pounce on Germany if they ever go to war with the Soviets. If they don't, we might take out the Soviets instead. I don't think I want to fight the Allies because it's annoying. And now the papacy is reborn. Italy is no more. We are now the papal state. Oh, love to see it. Love to see it. Let's continue on to Deus Vult, and then I'm gonna move into Iberian protection. I want to see if that does anything. I'm also gonna make the Pope's power absolute. Click, convoke an ecumenical council. That will move it all the way to the ascendancy of the Pope, giving us some nice bonuses. These are actually pretty good bonuses. All right, Iberian protection done. I'm now gonna get time for war. I just want to roll the Soviets. I hope I have that opportunity. I just want to roll the Soviets. Come on, Spain. Oh, sweet! Portugal and Spain. Spain becomes a puppet. Portugal also becomes a puppet. That's amazing. Look at this. The Catholic Dominion grows larger, and we can get even bigger if we use this. Oh, I should actually do this one. I'm gonna cancel a time for war. I'm gonna get this first. This will allow me to get everybody here. Now, as Italy, start with Grand Battle Plan, and to fight the Soviets might not be terrible using it, mostly because we can use logistical focus. Supply consumption is a big deal, so I'm thinking sticking with Grand Battle Plan for the time being. Yeah, I think we'll have to. Unfortunately, we don't actually get a theorist because Rodolfo Graziani requires us to be fascists, which is unfortunate, but it's something we can overcome. It's fine. It is fine. I've also changed up my templates to my usual stuff, so infantry with artillery. It should be okay against the Soviets, especially when I throw up my air, which I am building and training. Soviets are still pretty terrible. I've also redeployed my spies. I forgot that I definitely should have gotten an espionage agency here and done the cryptology stuff and infiltrations, so I don't have to walk all the way to the Urals. I hate fighting the Soviets enough as it is. All right, South American alliances. Let's see what that does. And now we go to a time for war. Okay, South America. What's it gonna be? Oh, I can invite the faction. Yes. Oh my god, I can invite all of them to my faction. Well, several of them. What? Paraguay said no. Panama said yes. Bolivia said yes. Argentina said no. Chile said yes. Peru. Oh my god. Most of them said yes, so look at that. We're massive. I'm a little concerned about Germany. It's March of 1940 and they haven't gotten through Belgium yet. Now, this may be because Italy's not in the war or because the German AI is not particularly clever. I've seen them get dumber and dumber over the last couple of patches, so I am going to be skeptical. Anyway, time for war is done, which means we can now declare war on the Soviet Union. We'll call in all our allies. Should we? We probably should. There we go. We can finish these godless heathens once and for all. All our puppets will come in along with our allies, and in terms of focuses, we continue onwards. Now, all of these are pretty good, but I realized I have a massive shortage of artillery, which means I'm going to do this one. Makes artillery a lot cheaper to produce. And now, hopefully, I can roll the Soviets pretty easily. Like, they're not that threatening, usually. Oh boy, everybody wants to send me stuff. Sure. And Finland wants to join my faction. You know what, Finland? Welcome. Now, straight up infantry offensive isn't going to be pretty, but I really shouldn't have that much to worry about with the Soviets. They are just ridiculously weak all the time, and keep recruiting new units. I do have a pretty big equipment deficit, but we'll fix that. Don't worry, we'll fix that. I can go to total mobilization, and then I'll go to women in the workforce as well. Okay, I may or may not have overestimated my capacity for war. Things have ground to a halt like a couple of miles past our border with the Soviets. There's a lot more Soviets here than I had anticipated, and that ain't good. Good news is, though, they haven't caught any of my spies yet, so I am going to collab the hell out of them while I can. The bad news is this whole operation is costing me a ridiculous amount of equipment, and my industry, while sizable, seems to be having quite the problem dealing with it. Even my air force isn't really able to deal with the Soviets. I'm losing more fighters than they are, and mine should be better unless I'm designing them all wrong. Yeah, I'm having a lot of difficulties here, like a lot of difficulties. So after much reflection, I figured out why my army is trash. I've done none of these. I need to preserve army traditions, get army leaders, get super esercito, and then of course go down the rest of this focus tree to get myself some of those super heavy tanks I want, because there are some bonuses here to heavy tank and improved heavy tank chassis. I screwed that up. I also think this is quite possibly the worst Germany I've seen in a while. It's almost the end of 1940 and they haven't taken Paris yet. They will soon, but they haven't yet, and that is going to cost them in terms of their equipment snowball. Hopefully they'll come in against the Soviets as well and we can double team them. And there goes France, finally. Everything's going much better now. Preserve army traditions came in along with a couple more doctrines, so I've got most of my doctrine here. The supply really helps. And once we cracked the Soviet line, it was a clean shot. Got a nice little encirclement here between the German border and ourselves. And now, along with our air support, I'm gonna thunder across the Soviet Union. I'm training more units, but equipment is gonna be a bit tight. Fortunately, I have a lot of vassal units flooding in behind me, and I'm going to keep improving my units as I can. I think we'll get the Italian tankettes and then go down this path. This gives us a couple of bonuses to heavy tanks. And every time we have another big heave, I should probably just take a breath, take a moment to evaluate the situation and improve the railways, because supply is always an issue. In terms of casualties, we've lost 500,000 men in service to His Holiness. That's not a large price to pay, considering we've killed over 1 million Soviets. And this is an infantry army. I haven't even gotten to my fun little tanks yet. Oh. As usual, the border here gets entirely too messy. Yeah, it certainly looks like the Soviets are caving. Just gonna take a little pause every now and then, just to make sure I don't burn through all of my equipment. And through clever maneuvering and constant stretching of my lines, I've managed to get a good little cauldron here on Baranovice, destroy that, reposition the army, and then go for another big push on the Soviets. They've lost a lot of men. So have I, but they've lost way more. And I'm working on my third collaboration government. Should be done soon enough, and when that's done I should be able to crush them without any difficulties. Germans aren't even gonna get involved in this war, I think. Training more men, but equipment's just not going up. I'm burning through it too quickly, but I can't stop attacking. Fortunately, my air force will see me through here. Yeah, the air war definitely in our favor. Let's get some more fighters up. This should be a decent sized pocket. Soviet army has shrunken a little bit, I'd say. a little bit. Mine is still significantly smaller than theirs, but I'm not losing as many men as they are. I'll probably make another cutoff here around Bialystok, or whatever you say here, and that will be the death of the entire Soviet center. And there, another section cut off. This is the best part of all these videos, is just the encirclements. You get see your armies destroy the enemy. Oh, we've also just encrypted or decrypted their cipher. Should be good. Annoying thing is that the Soviet front becomes very, very long, and I only have one army group at my disposal and not enough equipment to keep making them. I'm even running out of trucks because somehow they are getting blown up despite me having really good aerial superiority. But hey, Germany decided to get involved as well. Yeah, that's cute. I'm pretty much done here, Germany, but thanks for joining. Maybe they'll have lend-lease for me. So, one pocket at a time, I'm destroying the Russian army. Their losses are getting up there. 2.6 million. I've done 2.2 million of that. My losses have sort of stabilized. I've cut their armies down to size significantly, so they've lost a lot of divisions. We've lost Finland though, but they're oh my god, what? So this is where all my allied units went. Okay, good to know. Meanwhile, I'm sucking up all the lend-lease I can, and I plan to destroy the Soviet Union. I've got my 3 collabs in. It's just a matter of walking to Moscow, Leningrad, and Stalingrad. That should be it. Meanwhile, Germany is doing its thing, but I think the peace deal is gonna go my way. Okay, Soviets are on their last legs, and well, there we go then. This is going to be a bit of an involved peace deal because it does have the Germans in it. What do I want? I don't think I want anything specifically. There's not really anything I get cores on or claims on, so I'll probably just puppet some stuff and demand resource rights, I guess. Oh boy, this is a big deal, this whole new peace deal system. Okay, so that's my first demand, a bunch of puppets, and Germany is fighting me over some of them, mostly in the Caucasus it seems, so I'm just gonna press on. Okay, and we'll see, I guess. I'm gonna try and be cheeky and just demand whatever I can and get resource rights everywhere. I'll fight tooth and nail over this stuff. I want all of it. Okay, boys, this is gonna be a disgusting peace deal. Bear with me. Oh, it's gonna crash, isn't it? Oh my god, look at what we did to the world. Italian Russia. We've got Ukraine with the more Italian Russia in there. Oh god. Oh, we did take a lot of resource rights, so we have a lot of stuff in theory. We unpause for a little bit. Yeah, I think the Catholic Dominion is kind of sort of on top here. I don't think I have to worry about facing the Axis in what comes next. I don't think, no, I think I'll be fine. I really need to figure out how to use this peace deal mechanic because I just went ham and I loved it. Anyway, I'm gonna call it here. The focus tree is hilarious. Like, this is a really cool path. It gets even stronger the further down you go. I could face the Axis now. I'll be honest, I just don't want to. Past 1941, it's such a slog, but I definitely recommend you try this out. If there's anything else you want to see me showcase in this DLC and patch, let me know in the comments. And until then, I hope you enjoy this next video.